Well, welcome back to the channel, folks. If you're new to the channel, I'm Josh from Minute Fishing, and today we're doing something I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time, which is hike into a remote trout pond and fish from a canoe or kayak or what's called a belly boat. Unfortunately, we're not doing it today. It's 90 degrees. We've had so much flipping rain here. All of those types of trails are gonna be a slippery rock slide, mudslide. So, and all the rivers around here are completely flooded. But I do have this remote pond that I found on Google Earth last year when I was just scouting for like random stuff to go ice fishing for. I did ice fish it. It's got a bunch of crappie, bass, perch, and like warm water species into it. But there's a gate in front of me you can't get past with any sort of vehicle or anything like that. And it's too far for me to carry my canoe in my roof. So what I do have, and I kind of rigged it up, is the Solo 2 from my canoe, and you can see an unboxing video. I'll leave that link for that below. I did that a little while ago, and what I do have it rigged on is my Kelty like normal 60 liter, I think it's a 60 liter hiking backpack. Now they do make frame backpacks, which would be a little bit better for this. So I just kind of like ratcheted strapped it to it. So my goal is to carry it like this with a couple more things in it. So right now my life jacket's in my backpack. The paddle's in here, the seat are actually tucked in there as well. And all I have is a ratchet strap. So total, I mean, I'm probably talking about like 24 pounds, including the backpack, which is not a ton. I have a 3-year-old that I've carried a lot further that weighs like 32 or 3 pounds. He's a little, not very heavy. So we're gonna get buckled up here and start hiking down the trail, and hopefully we can catch some crappie or bass. And I think it's probably about a mile walking or something like that. So I'm not strenuous, but it's 80 degrees out and like 1000% humidity. So I'll be out of breath. I'll try to film as much as I can along the way without huffing and puffing into the camera. So yeah, let's go. It looks a little wobbly. I think I prefer it to be vertical, but I'm not hiking very far. If I was hiking into one of the remote trout ponds where it's like a steep cliff, I would probably want it vertical where it's not smashed into the trees and stuff. But this seems to work for right now. So let's go. I'm already sweating. I did not put bug spray on, and that's already my mistake. There's quite a bit of deer flies out here, which don't even care about bug spray anyways, but we're hiking out. And yeah, hopefully there's some big bass in here. I did catch some bass here last year, so we're starting with a big old swim bait, just like a 3.5. But this is actually not bad on the shoulders right now. I'm carrying most of the weight on my hips, and it doesn't wiggle like a 3-year-old does, so it's actually not too bad. And it doesn't look like this road has been flooded out from all this rain, which is a good start. So let's keep hiking. All right, we have arrived, and this is like an old abandoned road, which is kind of interesting. That's been like basically shut off on both ends, but this little pond here is like full of crappie and stuff. And there's the backpack, which I have some tackle in and stuff. Open this up, so we want to unbuckle it, loosen these straps, and this time I actually practiced on how to put it together. Take out the seat and the 4 sections of the paddle. So it's a kayak style paddle, but it's a canoe because you actually sit, you don't have to sit on the floor of it, you actually sit higher. And that's one thing I don't like about kayaks, is I like to stand up or sit up as high as possible. I like to see. So take that, fold that out, take that, fold that out, come over here, grab your straps. And we just buckle those kind of loosely, unless I get bit by a deer fly, which is about to happen. Then we want to rest our knee against it. We want to pop the top, the bottom, and then the middle. Bring you right in here so you can see this. You want to do the top, the bottom, and then the middle. And that whole seam pops out. Fold this over. You do that, same on the other side. bottom and in the middle. That's way easier than I did last time. We want to take this and you kind of loosen the sides here. There we go. And since I have the seat rest, I'm gonna put that in. So it's like under 2 minutes to set it up total. And if you want to sit down lower, like if you're in waves or something like that, you can pop that seat out and just sit right on the bottom like a kayak. This goes down under here like this. Goes like that. And these go forward. Snap onto these two things, which is an accessory add-on. But there we go. I have to paddle through some lily pads and stuff. That's all right though. Leaving my shoes here. Remember, 3 points of contact when you're getting in. Paddle down, foot on, foot off there. We're rocking and rolling. And if you guys have followed my channel, I started out the channel in a boat and then went to a folding canoe and then went back to a boat and then went back to kayaks and then went back to a canoe. And I fully believe it's so hot out, folks, that my GoPros are going to overheat. So if I'm missing footage, I'll kind of describe it after. But yeah, we got the generic like spinner baits, inline baits today. And one of these guys, I did not bring a net today. I didn't really think was gonna need it. So start off by casting out there. And if this place receives like little pressure, I should get a bite almost immediately. Yeah, let's give it a little paddle here. And you know, I'm not expecting, like, this is my second time using this, I'm not expecting this thing to track like a 12-foot, $1,300, $2,000. I mean, I just looked at prices of canoes and kayaks. They're outrageous now. It's not going to track like that. It's not meant to track like that. So, you know, this is meant to be in the back of your car. I had it in the back of my truck, but I could have probably put it in the front seat of my car just because I had it strapped to my backpack. Oh my goodness, there's a ton of them. That's a bass. That's a bass. For sure. Nice big largie. Not, you know, not ginormous, but first fish in the my canoe solo too. The little swim bait. Nice, going back in. I really want to stand up. But I don't think casting and standing up would be the smartest thing. Now they do make stabilizers for this. So you can fish and go on bigger waves and stuff like that in bigger lakes. They like inflate on the side. One of the things I didn't like, I've used the belly boat before. Just like compare this to a belly boat, which is like the inner tube style. I don't like sitting low in the water. It's just, I love sight fishing, and you just can't sight fish when you're at the same level as the water. Oh, there we go. There's a crapsters. He was swimming at the same pace that I was reeling, so it was not the best hook set in the world, but he was out here. He was out here. Definitely not an eater. Yeah. A tiny little crapsters, but it's a crapsters nonetheless. Little tiny guy. cruising right on bottom. Probably in, I don't know. Can't see bottom, so maybe 5 feet or so. Oh, I saw him take it. This is the size I was catching here this winter. And I carry a lot more stuff with me when I ice fish. This is getting to be pretty fun. Drop it down, catch a fish, drop it down, catch a fish. And yeah, I could have like dragged my 80-pound canoe in here or my kayak, but this actually has more room than my 10-foot kayak. It's just because it's open. Got it. All around the same size. I say. Pond. Come on. But the Solo 2 is handling freaking great today. Like, obviously there's no wind. I wouldn't take it out. And so a general rule for like canoeing, kayaking, and even powerboating is got 'em. Don't go out in more wind than the length of your boat. So this is 9 foot 5 inches or something like that. I would not go out in more than 9. And then a lightweight kayak like this, 5 would probably be my max that I'd be comfortable with. If you were stuck in more wind, happens, you know? I've been out and like, oh, the weatherman says it's gonna be like this all day, and it's definitely not. It goes up to like 4-foot waves in my big boat, not in a kayak. I try to plan for no wind in a kayak, which is the best, but. One crappie after another. And these ones fight hard too, they want to go. And I know someone will say in the comments, oh, why don't you kill all those small ones? Because I don't want to eat any fish today. So don't even, just stop. Just stop. And 1, 2, 3. Brrr, slow count on that one. All right, let's get out of this spot since they all seem to be small. Paddle out to the middle here. I know there's like a deeper spot out in the middle, and we can just try to go jig out there real quick. So let's sit back. I do feel like these handles are a little bit short, but I think I can do, yeah, I can make them longer like that. And I flipped it over. This thing is sweet, and you can change the angle. So the paddles are an accessory as well. And last time I bought my canoe, I used my own wooden paddles, and I should have just bought the collapsible ones because they were like just long enough to like be annoying when I was traveling. Crappie! Last one in the boat. All right, we're good. Going back in. Let's get out of here before I get completely roasted and starved to death. Nicely up. There we go. And now, one thing I will do when I get home, since it's all wet, is I will unfold it on my lawn and then let it dry out. You don't want mold and mildew building up in there or anything like that, so dry it out, just like a normal canoe or kayak or any sort of wet gear. But overall, that's it. That was actually a decent little, I think we were out there for a couple hours, it seems like it. Maybe like an hour and a half or something like that, not including the walk. But yeah, I got about a mile hike back on this little tar road here. It's, you know, it's pretty beat up. Yes, I'm not hiking up a mountain. I don't want to hike up a mountain today anyways. But thanks from My Canoe Solo 2 for sponsoring this video. And yeah, that's a nice little backpack rig. especially for these remote ponds that have no pressure. If this was a pressured pond, I don't know if I would have done so well. So yeah, and I definitely want to carry this on a cart or a big canoe or a kayak on a cart all the way back here, or even up a hill. It's just not fun. There's a couple other ponds in New Hampshire that are trout ponds that you got to drag like past the gate and stuff like that. This would be perfect for that, and especially the people that don't want to lift heavy canoes and stuff on top of their vehicle, or they have a really nice vehicle that they don't want to scratch. I've actually dropped my canoe in my car and dented the heck out of it. So thanks for watching, folks. If you want to see the remote trout video, make sure you comment below, because that is a commitment on my end to go do that camp, bring all my stuff and gear up a mountain, and actually maybe do some exercise before I get there so I don't die and become one of them people that get rescued by fishing game. Thanks for watching.